Good morning, everybody. Mystic Rick here. It's Friday, January 9th, 2026. We had non-farm payroll data this morning, and in 10 minutes, there's more data that's going to be dropping. Let me share my screen for y'all. I know for some reason the last couple streams that I had, it's taken a minute or two for the stream to start casting, so you might have a black screen right now. I apologize. I don't know how to fix that quite yet. It's a YouTube issue. I looked into some of the different options and how to fix it, but I'm not quite sure which one is going to be the best so far. Right now, we're just kind of chopping around on the ES and MNQ. I think it's waiting until the news drops here in 10 minutes. So I took a little scalp at 8:30. I had a nice little engulfing candle, 5-minute candle that I took up for a few points before I got trailed out. Yeah, now I'm just kind of being patient, waiting for a valid setup. The data is showing that it could go either direction at this point, though there's a lot of bulls. There's more bull calls than puts that have been bought. So take that as you will. The highest delta exposure right now is at 6,900 SPX, which is like 6,940 of the ES. So we're looking at something like right around down here for a highest delta position. Or we'll say exposure because it's more than one person position. That's right here. And then after that, but the net gamma position is higher. It's up at 7,000. So that would be like 7,040 of ES. So that's kind of the direction what we're looking at for today. Pretty big range as far as price action goes of what's possibilities. But as far when these different headlines and news releases come out, things will be more clear. Most likely this will be brought down here. This might be brought up or even possibly brought down as news comes out. But as is, like I said, it's up here. So they're calling for possibly a new all-time high today. This is highest GEX exposure. This is a DEX magnet, and then you got the GEX magnet. We've got VIX that's going up and down. Just put in a nice 5-minute reversal candle there. So indexes should be able to go up right here, assuming we're going to follow the VIX inversion. That's usually a better strategy when it's a high VIX. It's still like semi-low. It's actually pretty low VIX right now, but so that inversion strategy doesn't work as well as it used to a couple months ago. Let's see what the 2-minute hedge fund looks like. So these bottom two charts are set up for the a hedge fund strategy. One is the micro Russell M2K, so IWM, and then the other one is ES. So what you look for is a close above these Bollinger Bands, a close above or below the Bollinger Bands and this 50-day moving average for this strategy entry, and then you would take it from like the top to the bottom as far as a risk to reward would go. So for the sake of this, you would take entry here, and since it just closed above and over these, and your stop loss would be just below that, and you would just target a 1-to-1 to begin with, and you could trail your winner up as far as you wanted, really. Possibly got stopped out here, but that's only if you would have trailed. Technically, you should only be stopped if it came down past this low. So we got a few minutes till news. We've got some tariff headlines that might come out. I heard that this isn't going to be a tariff ruling, so don't be confused. I've noticed that some people, the news outlets, have been saying that these are just opinions. So these opinions that we'll get here today are just that. It's not a ruling, but yet, you know, these are the people who are going to make the ruling opinions. So until, you know, they can be lobbied more, possibly, just like anything in any, I don't know, it's how corrupt everything seems like it is nowadays, that people need to get bribed and lobbied in order for things to go the way they want or the way things should be. It's kind of a sick world we live in. Yeah, VIX is still going down a little bit. We had a little hiccup up, and that's what this was. It can keep dropping, but it looks like it's just gonna wait around here for a minute while we wait for the data to come out. Which is, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for, yeah, this is just opinion. University sentiment, that's not even that much. Kashkari, he's been known to be called Crash Kari. So, because he's crashed the market a couple times when he speaks. And then there's another, Bostic speaks at 11. Barkin speaks at 12:30. Of course, Trump is going to be speaking and meeting with people today. When can't he have a word of something? But here's what happened this morning. And unemployment rate, okay, a little bit better than expected. U.S. non-farm payrolls, worse than expected and worse than last time. So this will help for interest rates to come down. It should help. But if we got lower unemployment and higher earnings, and that could bring up inflation, in which case they wouldn't want to bring down interest rates as fast. So the Fed's in a little bit of a conundrum on what they want to do yet. But back to the charts. Data is still looking about the same. I don't have to plot anything different over here. We still got the highest DEX down there, and the highest GEX is up here. $9 news just hit. Looks like it wasn't much of anything to get too excited about. The VIX continued to drop though, so that's good. I'm not sure why indexes aren't showing it. Maybe they want to do a shakeout first. There is a gap down below us on SPX. There's a gap on the indexes, so it's just going to be a choppy day. Looks like Crash Kari's talking right now. Looks like 693 is the MVC for SPY for today. Which is like $2 above us right now. There's still a gap below us at 689.75. The Russell's starting to tank down now. You'd take your entry on the hedge fund short right now as it just crossed below this. If you wanted to take the strategy, yes, some days you'll just get chopped up beyond belief. So you would have taken it right at the end of this close, and the stop loss would have been here, right above where it started to enter. So your stop loss is 12.6. So that's like a 1-to-1. Ooh, bearish engulfing candle right there. It's getting closer to its this gap fill. It's down to the bottom on SPX where it opened. 69.29.
Order filled.
I'm gonna try this.
Order filled.
Oh man, that thing just slapped me up. That was a bummer. Took me out at break even, and there she just went to my target. Whoops. Man. That's why I shouldn't be trailing my stop loss so quick like that. I do that too often, guys. Help me out. Man, that was a nice bearish engulfing candle, just per my strategy. Well, we took S&P got a lower low. It's almost getting to its gap close, just a little bit farther. 40 more cents on SPY for the gap close. They might just front run it. And that was our best candle of the day as far as our strategy that we do, the keep it simple, stupid series. And there it would have probably just hit target. Damn. Yep. Yeah, Crash Car did it again. Looks like they got the gap close, which happens to be right at the previous all-time high level. So this should be a pretty previous all-time high on SPX. Biggest delta exposure now is at 69.50, so it's SPX 69, 69.50, so it's 69.90. Okay, right, 69.90. So this is where the highest DEX is now. This one's still pretty big though, but it's positive DEX, while we have this one up here, negative DEX. And it's actually the largest. I'll put this over here. It's kind of contending right now between this and this for highest delta. So these are what the magnet is going to be at for right now. They're going to be pushing and pulling between these two. This one's a little bit bigger right now than this one, but they're still pretty large, around 800 million. This already would have been a 1-to-1 win. That comeback candle. That's why you don't chase things. You could get your face ripped off. You got to get in right when the signal tells you to. And if you get in late, like I did, you try being defensive. Otherwise, it could just whip up like it did. I could have held on a little bit longer. I was in at 68. Got out at the same spot at break even. I wonder what Crash Car is saying. He's still talking. He's whipping around the markets a lot. 7,000. What is that? 69. This is lower now for MVC, like I said, was probably going to happen. This is more like right around here. They're still wanting. Yeah, just over like 7,000. Possibly, yeah, like right around here actually. They're trying to push it back to all-time high, possibly. This is the highest gas exposure. That was good. It got the gap fill. Oh wow, VIX is just hit its gap though. It had a huge candle. I just reversed. Just dropped 50 cents. That was twice the range that it was in. This looks like a possible buy. Oh man, it's just tough. Definitely looks like a buy though. This is just right at the resistance point. So it's a little tricky, but they both crossed over VWAP pretty convincingly. It's coming up right up to a pothole and that negative delta. All those bulls came back though, up in here. So looking like on I gotta go put on a sweatshirt. It's freaking cold in here. Well, let me turn on the Christmas tree. color in here. This would have been a good entry this morning at 8:05. I was in the shower though. Could have taken an easy 10 points in 10 minutes. Yeah. It's gotta be patient. Days long. I gotta put on some good sweatshirt. VIX is still dropping. Kind of want to get in long on this. 70 be like a 10-point stop.
Order filled.
Hopefully NASDAQ can keep its push up. Yeah. Looks like both just crossed over. Oh, wait, no, that was delayed. That was behind. There we go. Push it out. Push it out.
Order filled.
Ah, come on, bro. Okay, this is what you don't do, guys. You don't keep trailing your winners like this. I did it here. That trailed out. You probably just did it here. And this looks good just to come right up to where I had my take profit. All I had to do was wait a couple more minutes. This is blasting through. Where's the 5-minute orb? But just curiosity. Yep, just had to wait a little bit longer. Oh man, why do I do this to myself? Out at 80, now it's at 88. Jesus, 50, 60 bucks. Right up to the half gap. Let's see, it looks like it's breaking out possibly from the 15-minute orb here on the NASDAQ. That was right there. 15-minute orb would have been. And on S&P, it's basically the same. Oh, we're up to the top of the orb right now. We're just getting to it. That would be right here. So can we break the orb and run it? We're at the highest debt. So no, that's actually switched now. It's no longer negative exposure. So all the negatives vanish. It's everything's positive exposure now. There's a little bit of a negative exposure right below price right now on the gamma side, but it keeps vanishing. $16.60. Yeah, 7,010. It's gonna come right up here to like 7,010, all-time high basically. Came right up over here. Now these negatives washed out to positive, so now they can squeeze it. Can you believe that, guys? I was in this at 79.50. I even took it a little bit late, but I liked how it closed over. It bounced off a VWAP. I took it right here, 79.50. And because it had a little bit of drawdown here, got me a little scared. So then I moved my stop up as soon as it got into profit. And what's it do? Trails me out after a point. I got to get better at that, that's for sure. I can get in good positions a lot of times, but then I'm not taking the wins that I need. I get stopped out here, and I did all that research and analysis to know that it's probably going to head all the way up to here today. Like, there wasn't even a bearish bar yet. I should still be in this until there's a bearish 5-minute bar at least. I'm pretty disappointed in myself. There's only one freaking micro for crying out loud. Stupid. How did I not hold that? Let's see, I was in a little bit lower though. And I got in like right here. My risk was, like I said, like 10 points, just under this fair value gap. And I would have been trying to get up to MVC, which is right around this area. So we'd be getting like 25 points, I believe. Definitely over a 2-to-1. Maybe could be able to get a 3-to-1 out of this by the end of today. It's starting to stall here where they had that negative delta bloom, even though it's now positive. It's basically a little bit of a pothole gap. It's right below price now, so it's not making that big an effect. This extends over and everything, you guys, all the bubbles and whatnot. Oh, not this one. This was entry. Dang, dude, look at this thing just run. What was this? Yesterday's warp or something? Yeah, it must have been. I don't need this. What's this one? Is the bottom of the orb? Don't need that either. 15-minute gap. That thing was pretty solid the past couple times. Last few times it came across into it. He's just blowing through these gaps. It's freaking 15 points higher from where I got stopped out. Went all the way up 17.5 points so far. 18 points from where I got stopped out. Fucking ridiculous. It's a Friday. I used to have really bad days on Mondays and Fridays, so I'm still trying to get over the reluctance of holding my positions longer, but I really need to. Really need to. Man, just a huge candle down there. 910. Jeez, right here. It's just a huge VIX candle. If you watch the VIX sometimes and you get a huge candle like this and they're both they're correlated, inversely correlated, it's usually a pretty good sign that there's going to be some continuation off of that huge Marbozo candle or whatever that thing's called. It's on the VIX Marbozo candle if you want to go back and over and look at it. That 910 candle on well, it's a Robinhood. So here would be a buy on this hedge fund strategy. Would have been right here. Just got a retouch. Actually looks pretty decent. How far are we up already? .69 already on M2K. 0.69 on NASDAQ too. 0.51 on S&P. Dang, you would have taken this on the hedge fund strategy too. Right where you end, right where I got exited, basically. You'd be taking entry. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty disappointed in myself. Oh well, at least I'm green. I can't be that disappointed. At least I didn't take a short or do something really stupid. I'm at least past those days for the most part. I guess the other day I had a little bit of a tilt session after taking an ES contract on accident and going in the hole $165 instantly, and then dug myself out of most of the hole yesterday. And on this hedge fund strategy, you would head here. I think technically it's supposed to be down here per strategy. You would have entered like right here. Looks like IWM. Let's plot that. So here you would have underneath this candle, since it started right into it, and then so 9.7, 9 point, close enough. That's probably gonna head up to there if it wanted to. The other day, this chopped so many times, went in and out, in and out, in and out across these Bollinger Bands. It was so sick. So I don't pay attention to the strategy that often. I just do my simple, stupid 5-minute entry model strategy, which kind of showed itself a few times already. Once right here, after this big upwards action, huge engulf of that open. And yeah, this entry for that short that we called out. This one probably could have been long, either one of those. Got up to 7,000 on ES, almost 69,995. Looks like MVC was right there. Looks like it decreased a little bit. There's only a possibility for it to go a little bit higher. So it technically hit right here at 7,000 because it was at 69.60. There's one more bloom above it, like 10 points higher, but this one was the biggest one. It shifted down a little bit. There's a lot of decks above it, though, that it could continue. And there's some decks to help push it, but looks like there's a lot more for the market makers to, if they want to bring it down. On the 2 minute, looks like that was a short entry right there on the ES. Bouncing off that FEG. SPX, we're bouncing off of the 9 EMA. It looks like we're right on it. But we got a divergence on the RSI with the SPX. Man, what a dump. I guess it went up to, like I said earlier, SPY, what was it, 693? It went right up in there and then hit its max. The same with here, MVC on SPX, and it was tanked. It doesn't do this every time though. Sometimes it might just chop around. Sometimes it'll continue up. But Crash Kari is still talking, it looks like. Here's some Fed, it looks like. So he could be spooking the markets, possibly. I'm not listening to what he's saying, but what they do, push it all the way back to BWAP. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, I'm not feeling the price action today. I'm a little tired. Hopefully everybody does well, and I'm gonna call it a day here. It's Friday and it's pretty nasty outside. I gotta go do some shoveling and chopping of ice probably. Hopefully y'all have a good day. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. See you next week. Peace.